Married to a Manita in-laws. The night I found the human tooth in the stew, I knew something was terribly wrong. It wasn't a big tooth, just a small molar, half hidden under a piece of meat. For a moment, I stared at it, frozen, telling myself it must be a mistake. But deep down, I knew it wasn't. I'm Kelly, and this happened 2 years ago when I married Peter. He was charming, kind, and everything I thought I wanted. I loved him so much that I ignored every warning sign about his family. Peter's mother was the matriarch of the family. She was quiet but had this way of watching people that made you feel small. His 2 sisters, Linda and Lucy, were always together, whispering and giggling like they shared some dark secret. The first time I met them, something felt off. They were too interested in me, asking strange questions like, "How much do you weigh?" and "Do you eat a lot of meat?" At the time, I laughed it off, thinking it was their way of teasing. After we got married, Peter insisted we move into his family's home for a while to save money. I didn't want to, but he convinced me. "It's just for a few months," he said. "My family will love you." The first night there, I barely slept. The house was old, with creaky floors and thick shadows that seemed to move when you weren't looking. But what kept me awake was the noise. Somewhere outside, I heard whispers and low growls, like animals fighting. When I asked Peter about it, he said it was just stray dogs. The next morning, I offered to his mother in the kitchen. She was chopping meat, huge chunks of it that looked fresh, almost too fresh. The smell was strong and metallic. "Where did you get this meat?" I asked, trying to sound casual. She paused, her knife hovering mid-air, and gave me a strange smile. "We slaughtered it last night. Fresh meat is the best meat." I didn't think much of it at first. Villages often slaughter animals for food. But then I noticed something odd. The bones she tossed aside didn't look like goat or cow bones. They were different. Thinner, smoother. That night, at dinner, I couldn't eat. The stew smelled wrong, and every bite made my stomach turn. Peter's sisters were watching me the whole time, grinning like they knew a joke I didn't. "Eat," she said firmly. "You're part of this family now. You must eat." I forced a few bites down, but I couldn't stop staring at the others. They were eating with their hands, tearing into the meat like they were starving. Even Peter. That's when I saw it, the edge of something white sticking out of my bowl. I pulled it out, and my heart nearly stopped. A tooth. A human tooth. I pushed the bowl away, my hands shaking. "What is this?" I whispered. Everyone stopped eating. The room went silent. She leaned forward, her eyes sharp and cold. "It's nothing. Just eat." I stood up, my chair scraping loudly against the floor. "I'm not hungry." Peter grabbed my wrist, his grip tighter than I expected. "Kelly, sit down. Don't disrespect my mother." I yanked my hand away and ran to our room. I locked the door and stayed awake all night, listening. That's when I heard it again, whispers and growls. But this time, they were closer, right outside our window. The next morning, I told Peter I wanted to leave. He got angry, saying I was being dramatic. "This is my family," he said. "You need to respect them." But I couldn't stay. I packed my things and waited for the right moment to leave. That moment came a few nights later. I woke up to the sound of footsteps outside our room. Soft, careful footsteps. Then, a low, guttural growl. I held my breath, my heart pounding in my chest. The doorknob rattled. I grabbed my phone and texted my brother to come get me. Then I sat there, clutching a kitchen knife I'd hidden under the bed, praying the door wouldn't open. The next morning, I pretended everything was fine. I smiled, helped in the kitchen, and acted like nothing had happened. When my brother arrived, I told Peter I was going to visit my parents. He didn't stop me. I never went back. A week later, I heard the rumors. People in the village said Peter's family was cursed, that they weren't fully human. Some said they practiced dark rituals, eating human flesh to stay strong. Others said it was how they kept their wealth and power. I don't know what's true. All I know is what I saw, the tooth, the bones, the way they ate. Peter tried to contact me a few times after I left, but I blocked him. I moved to a different town and started over. But sometimes, late at night, I still hear those growls in my dreams. And I wonder if I was their next meal, or if they're still waiting for me. If you found this video interesting, hit that subscribe and like button for more. See you in the next video.